Hey, this is Brian,
And Shelby.
and you're listening to the Hyperspace.
Pod Blast. Aren't you a little short for a podcast?
Huh?
A long time from now, in a theater, hopefully not that far away so you don't have to drive that long. Star Wars Episode 9! 1 million years until we see it!
Basically.
Yeah, it's, what, like 17 months or something like that?
I guess so, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Crazy.
Yeah. I feel like we got all this, like...
Too much too fast, and then it's like, oh,
Yeah,
it's forever.
Kind of. I really think having Solo in May was a horrible idea.
Yeah.
I could have easily waited till December.
I need a steady stream of Star Wars, not Star Wars binge.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know. I think
Personally.
now maybe they did that so you'll have time for this TV show, but I don't see the TV show coming out before the movie since we know nothing about the TV show.
I guess we get the animated shows.
Yeah, but I mean, they had that running with
Yeah.
Rebels.
Meh.
I
Anyway.
hardly think that counts.
So what happened this week, Brian?
Well, we got some exciting episode 9 news. It is officially getting underway. We had some cast announcements, but we're going to start with the co-writer, I guess, with J.J. Abrams. Chris Terrio? I don't know. Chris, I don't know. What do you think about this edition? He has one really, really, really good credit under his belt with Argo, but he also has Justice League and Batman vs. Superman. So I don't know what to think about this.
See, I didn't really know anything about this until we started recording. And I read this and I was like, literally the sound I made was, oh.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's because I think, Star Wars is a lot more like the DC universe than it is like Argo. So I don't see him adding his Argo cred to this movie. He's going to be adding his DC universe creative juices to this, and I don't think that's something I really want in the mix. Granted, I've never seen either of these movies. So, maybe I'm just being really prejudiced towards something I've never seen.
That wouldn't be the first time.
No, that's true. But I don't know. The general consensus seems to be
that those movies are not good.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe they're just terrifically written, though. They're just performed and
maybe
shot
the execution
poorly.
isn't
I don't
that
know.
great.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I'm not going to knock it till I see it.
Yeah, it doesn't give me warm and fuzzies, though.
Do you think that we're at a point in Star Wars, you know how, like, there was a moment when everyone truly understood this idea of, like, oh, it's Star Wars, no one would let anything that's not good fly. Do you think we're still in that period?
I mean...
You know what I'm talking about, though? Like, that whole idea of, like, it's Star Wars, someone's gonna say no if it's stupid.
No, I get that. I mean, I think we've already passed that.
Really?
In my opinion. There's been some pretty dumb stuff. I guess not necessarily in the films. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
then again, for some people would say, yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true.
It really depends on what you think of the most recent films.
Yeah.
So.
Especially The Last Jedi. I mean, I think some people would say that had some really stupid stuff in it. So, it's all relative. It's subjective like everything. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I don't know. It just, like I said, it doesn't give me warm and fuzzies. But who knows? We thought the Jurassic World guy was going to have a shot at it. And look what happened in that latest fiasco.
Yeah. How many directors have gotten let go? Anyway, let's move on from that topic.
Yeah, sounds good. So, we have returning cast members, including Daisy Ridley.
Shocker.
Obviously, yeah. Adam Driver.
Extra shocker.
Yeah. John Boyega.
What?
Oscar Isaac. Now, this next one, Lupita Nyong'o, I honestly didn't think we were going to get Maz anymore.
Really? I think Maz is such a fan favorite. I think that's, like, everyone agrees that they love Maz.
Yeah, I mean, she is awesome, but...
What part are you going to write for her? Which makes me excited. Yeah. Like, maybe it's going to come around, like, with Maz teaching Rey something. I would like to see that.
I just think that Maz is going to now have signed up for the Resistance, which is what I think JJ planned for her anyway.
Probably.
And now he's just going to write that in, and we're back to where we were. No harm, no foul.
Yeah.
But otherwise, are they going to reach out to her again? Like, hey, Maz, we need another favor. She's doing some other party stuff somewhere. Who
Well,
knows?
at some point, I think we're going to get some in the future stuff. And I think that what's going to happen is the First Order is going to become such a problem that Maz can't choose not to be involved.
Yeah. I can see her being part of the help that eventually comes to aid Leia, even though no one came, at the end of The Last Jedi.
Okay.
I think that's also something that's going to happen with someone we'll talk about later. But anyway, I can never say this guy's Domhnall Gleeson. Domhnall.
Hux.
Yeah, Hux. Obviously, Hux is coming back. Kelly Marie Tran, figured that. Junus, I can't say his last name either. Suotamo? Sorry, it's probably terrible. But, he's just Chewbacca now. Like, if Chewbacca's in a movie, it's going to be Junus. That's kind of granted. And Billy Lord, which is awesome. I'm glad that she's...
I like that, too. Connix was one of my favorite characters. I'm glad they fleshed her out a little bit more in the last film. So, glad to see her back.
Yeah, I really hope she takes kind of a bigger role even with this upcoming film.
Yes.
But someone that's not coming back, Gwendolyn Christie. Thank God.
I mean, I love Gwendolyn Christie as an actress and a person.
Well, same. Honestly, I think that Phasma was played by her is the reason Phasma came back at all.
Right. If it was just some rando person.
Right. I mean, even if it was a woman, if it was just, female voice behind cool silver outfit, she would have died, probably.
Yeah.
In the explosion of Starkiller. Since it was Gwendolyn Christie, she got like a little reprieve.
For nothing, in my opinion. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, it's...
if you love Phasma, you love Phasma. That's cool, but I just feel like that was a very, very convoluted...
It's such a weird character, too.
It's such a strange choice, in my opinion. But anyway, go ahead.
I don't know.
Let's move on. No Gwendolyn Christie unless it's like a surprise thing and I'm going to roll my eyes.
Oh, yeah, that would be... What a weird thing. Like, to keep that a surprise and then to say that Mark Hamill is coming back.
And Billy D. Williams.
Yeah, like to announce that, but then keep Gwendolyn Christie as a surprise would be weird. So let's just move on to that. We have Mark Hamill, Anthony Daniels, I think, 3PO, obviously. That's kind of another no-brainer type situation. But Billy D. Williams coming back for Lando. Do you think that the hype for Lando in Solo has anything to do with this, or do you think this has been in the works before that even came out?
I think we all like to think of this idea that Star Wars is this like super, everything's planned way far in for the future and everyone has everything together. But obviously with all like the firings of directors and last minute reshoots and all that kind of stuff, it's not. So I think it's totally possible that the love for Lando in Solo influenced this decision, which I'm totally okay with.
Yeah, I would say it may have even gone as far back as Celebration with all the, ovations and things that Billy D got before we were even really talking about young Lando. But I think for sure young Lando's massive appeal really helped get him on board. Mm-hmm. I certainly wasn't, scheduling conflicts for Billy D. I don't think he's that busy nowadays.
Right. I think it's awesome. I think it's an amazing addition to like this story.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's going to be one of those people, again, that Leia was reaching out to and, got the message. We found out that someone received her message. She just didn't get anything back. I think he's going to be one of those people that, we're going to find out, hey, had you had 5 more minutes, I would have phoned in,
Right, or he got held up by something or other.
Yeah, that's my opinion. What about Mark Hamill? What do you think he's going to be?
An alien.
That would be just too awesome if they was seriously just a trolley. Like,
I would love it.
I would too.
I think that's hilarious.
They don't show Luke in any of the previews or trailers. And everyone's like, oh, they're saving him. They're saving him. They get to the end of the credits and they're like, oh, it's going to be a post-credit scene. Force Ghost Luke. And then the movie just ends and they're just still sitting there like, hold on, he's coming. The lights come on. People start sweeping. They look around, all confused.
That's a good story, Brian.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I mean, realistically, though, I think that it probably means Force Ghost Luke.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Or voice or something.
Yeah. Or it could be another flashback situation, honestly.
Yeah.
We could get like a fourth rendition of the story of the birth of Kylo Ren. It could be JJ being like, no, this was what actually happened. That Rian Johnson stuff, that's all bogus.
Oh my God.
The Last Jedi was a dream. Episode 9 starts
now.
over where
Oh
The Force Awakens ended.
You see Luke like hovering, and it's like record scratch. You probably I wonder how I got into this situation.
Okay, here's what happened. We open on Ezra and Thrawn eating popcorn, chilling in the Purgle zone.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know,
zone.
whatever. And Ezra's like, yo, P Money, my Purg dog.
My bird.
Take me to the world between worlds. And he's like, and then Ezra like yoinks Luke out right as he's about to like, disappear. He's like, not today. And then they just start the movie over again. He pushes him through another portal and he's like, try again.
Redo.
Yep. And that is the beginning of episode 9.
I didn't like this story and a lot of other people didn't. So we're just going to try this again.
Oh man, that would be so bad.
Yeah. Anyway, realistic things we think are going to happen.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably... right now I'm 50-50. He's either going to be Force Ghost Luke or it's going to be flashbacks.
Yeah.
Or he's voicing an alien, as you said, and Luke's not even going to be in there. That'd be too funny.
Totally
man.
plausible.
Honestly, too funny. Super trolly.
So we have some new cast members too.
We do.
Which is cool.
Yeah. Do you wanna give these names? I mean, they're pretty easy, actually.
Okay, so Naomi Aki.
Yeah, I assume it's Aki.
Aki, okay. Richard E. Grant.
Mm-hmm.
And Carrie Russell.
That one for me is weird, dude.
Really?
Like, I know she got kind of like spoiled as being in it earlier, but it's weird for me to think of Felicity being in Star Wars. Not that I watched Felicity, but she was pretty prevalent at the time. I mean, there was this whole big deal when she got her hair cut or something. I can remember, I don't know, it was like, Felicity cuts her hair in season whatever. But I don't know. It's kind of goes back to what we talked about a couple episodes ago with famous people and how it changes views being in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, can you separate the idea of
Right.
the actress and other roles that they've been in
Exactly.
in the Star Wars role? Right?
Like, I can't imagine Natalie Portman playing Padme now.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Like, when she played her before, she hadn't, I mean, I remembered her from, like, Mars Attacks, which was, I mean, she was, I think, 14 or something when she played that. So it was no big deal. But to see her play that role, or any role in Star Wars now, except for, I guess, she could go back and play Padme and, like, that would be an okay kind of thing. But imagine she wasn't Padme before, and the announcement, instead of Carrie Russell, is Natalie Portman. I'd be like, what? Natalie Portman in Star Wars? You're crazy. And that's almost how I feel about Carrie Russell. Though I haven't seen her in anything for so long, I shouldn't have that Felicity image, but for some reason I do. Even though, like I said, I didn't even watch the show. It was everywhere at the time. You couldn't get away from it. So that one's going to be weird for me. The other two, I don't really have much of a base for, so.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at a picture of Richard E. Grant, I don't know how you don't see someone who's an Imperial.
Right, I mean, I think he's British fellow, so that.
It's like, well, all right.
Yeah, some old guy to come in and rival.
You think he could be like a defector, though?
He might. Or the other thing I thought of is like the new version of Lor San Tekka.
Maybe.
I don't know, like a new Force worshipping guy that comes in and
perhaps
helps out and gets killed straight away. I don't know.
Oh my God.
But I could see him in that kind of like sage type role too. But I could also see him as a curmudgeon-y first order fella.
Curmudgeon-y.
Yes.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Good word.
Thank you. What about Naomi Aki? I don't think I've ever seen her in anything. I did a quick look through and nothing looked familiar to me. But just, I mean, first glance, could be anybody.
Yeah.
Like literally anybody.
I'm excited to see. Oh, I know someone suggested the idea of her being a descendant of Enfys Nest, or maybe like like the next Enfys Nest.
Yeah, like the current iteration. That would be very awesome, actually.
I would be into it.
I don't see it happening because I still think JJ has some preconceived notions of how this story was going to go from before that he's going to somehow cycle back to, and probably not going to be able to
incorporate a bunch of
but
you never know.
That's true. I mean,
Maul can come back. Anything can happen.
Honestly, though, like, After seeing Maul and Solo
Nothing
and
is
like the world between worlds and just
nothing's
man,
impossible.
I know.
You used to say things, oh no,
That'll
no,
never
no."
happen.
Yeah, it
And
could.
then Maul was in Solo, and I was like, well, everything I think is out the window.
Yes.
But yeah, that would be actually awesome. I would go ape crazy.
It'd be very cool. Like, the idea that group, the Cloud Riders, still exist,
Hmm.
and they do their own thing, and
Yeah.
they're coming back to help
Just still fighting the good fight.
resistance.
They're yet another group out there, that gets the message. I would
Yeah.
love to see lots of different, like, little sects of, I don't know, resistance-esque organizations. I mean, it's...
People who helped form the very first rebellion.
Yeah, I mean, it becomes moderately derivative, but I would still enjoy it.
I mean, yeah. Isn't Star Wars in itself derivative?
Yeah, I mean, it's derivative of, like, Flash Gordon and those old sci-fi serials and stuff, so whatever. Everything's derivative of something if you look hard enough.
Thank you, oh wise English teacher.
You're welcome. But yeah, what do you think about Carrie Russell? I gave my Felicity opinion. I assume you don't have a Felicity opinion.
No.
Yeah, so what do you think? Who's she going to be?
I don't know.
Mara Jade?
Definitely. Honestly, when people say, like, oh, it can't be Mara Jade because blah, 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 it's like, well, I mean, she could definitely just be Mara Jade without being Luke's wife.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously being someone's wife isn't your only defining attribute.
Well, yeah, and it's like they've brought stuff in from Legends already that isn't exactly like it was before. Thrawn. I mean, granted, he's pretty close, but still. What about, his Nogri? That story's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, why couldn't Mara Jade exist and be a similar character? I think she could easily be an ex-Inquisitor turned good guy that's just around and part of the group trying to make the world a better place. She doesn't have to even be involved with Luke or even have known Luke. Who cares?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. It would be cool. But
what if she's an alien?
that would be super cool. I'm down for that. I hope all three of them are aliens, if you want to be completely honest.
What if she's Chiss and we have the Chiss come back, like, to help and, like, be that third party
Honestly,
comes in
like...
and saves the day?
Before, I would have been like, there's no way that would happen. But honestly, my mind is just so wide open to every opportunity
Which
now.
is kind of cool.
It's cool, but it's frightening because I'm just like, oh my god, they're going to do something really dumb and I'm going to hate Star Wars.
I like how you laugh at yourself when you do that.
You have to laugh or that'd be a depressing thought. I'm about to hate my favorite IP, no big deal. Welcome to Hyperspace Pod Blast, the Dark Tower podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm now hoping that they're all three aliens. They're all three Chiss. They're just three new Chiss characters. Nope, I changed my mind. They're all three Yu Zhong Bong. # Bong for life.
Perfect.
So
Moving
yeah.
on. The role of Leia Organa will once again be played by Carrie Fisher, using previously unreleased footage shot for Star Wars The Force Awakens. Thoughts?
Yeah, man. Where is it? Is it on Dakar? Why are they back on Dakar? Where else was she on set in The Force Awakens? Did they shoot her somewhere, maybe like on a ship but didn't use it? I don't know. I have so many questions. How are they going to explain she's back in the same outfit? I guess it'll be like general outfit, so no big deal. Is it going to be...
I think it's going to be a little weird. I just think it's going to be weird.
Yeah, I think it is too, but it's also, I think it's going to be like 2 lines. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's going to be really, really minimal. And my only thought is they obviously went back through and they're like, oh, I forgot she said this. We can use this. It's going to be like her turning around and being like, may the Force be with you, and then we'll never see her again. I don't know. It's going to be... I think it's going to be somewhat of a letdown for some people. They're going to have their hopes up. They're like, yes, we get to see not only Leia on screen in the final installment of this trilogy, perhaps of this entire Skywalker saga. I doubt it, but whatever. And it's going to be like piddly, it's literally going to, it's going to say like 4 words and blow up or something. I don't know. I feel like...
It concerns me. I mean, I'm not going to be super, like, Debbie Downer about it, but also, like, I'm not getting my hopes up that it's going to be this, like, life-changing moment that's going to be perfect. If it is, great. Like, that's awesome. But otherwise, I'm not confident that it's going to live up to everybody's expectations.
Yeah. And I'm further afraid it's going to be one of those things where they're probably not going to show it in a trailer, except for maybe just, like, a panning shot
Mm-hmm.
or like just like a little quick blurb. And then we get to the movie and we get basically just that.
Plus, like, think about it this way. You don't have the motivations. You're not... The filming was done without her understanding the point of the story that would be put. You know what I mean? Like,
right, yeah. It might feel disjointed, out of place. Like, is she going to be standing by herself? There's going to be a whole group of people that she's addressing. Like, how's it going to work? I don't know, man. So many questions. And I don't know. I feel like I'm being really, like, raining on the parade of, yay, we get Carrie Fisher back, which is great. Like, I think this has the potential to be better than, like, an off-screen she died in the crawl thing.
Yeah,
or
that'd be
just,
lame.
Isn't that General Organa's ship? Like, that's all you get? That would be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, I mean, her daughter has, like, given her blessing for it. So, like, part of me thinks that it has to be okay.
yeah, I like to think that she took a look at it and was like, yeah, I mean, this is cool. We can make this work. It's definitely better than a recast or a CGI.
Ooh, CGI. No, thank you.
Yeah, that would have been... It's too soon. Like, I don't have a problem with the CGI of Tarkin as long as, you know, none of his family cared about it, and I haven't heard anything like that. So I think it worked. It would have been weird to have that movie without Tarkin in it.
Yeah.
I mean, they would have had to, like, mention him a lot or something.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been done, but still, I thought it was fine. The CGI Carrie was unnecessary at the end of that one. Like, just don't have her turn around. Just, you know, show her white back. That would have been fine, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Gonna have to see it, obviously. I'm still excited.
So you think you're gonna go see this movie?
Yeah, I guess. It's so long from now, I might change my mind.
People change their mind all the time.
Women do. I don't think people do.
I know, right? If you don't know that quote, it's from The Room, which is the best worst movie of all time.
You should definitely watch it.
Yep, with a bunch of friends.
Yeah, don't watch it alone. It's kind of weird to do, I think.
Anyway, composer John Williams, who has scored every chapter in the Star Wars saga since 1977, is going to be returning for episode 9. Do you think that you can have a true saga Star Wars story without a John Williams score?
I honestly don't think so, no.
Really? I think you can. Now that I've heard, like, the music in Rogue One, I think you can.
Yeah, I mean, a Star Wars movie? Yes. A saga movie? I don't know, man. At least not now that he's already done 2 of the 3 installments. It would be weird, I think, save him, you know, dying, which would be tragic, just to not have him involved.
Well, it'd be weird to not have him involved, but I think that you can still make one without him.
Right. I mean, I think this is probably his last hurrah, even if they make, you know, obviously they're going to make more Star Wars movies, but even if they make like an episode 10, 11, 12, I don't think John Williams will probably compose. He might do a song if he's still alive, but I think this is probably his last hurrah in Star Wars.
Okay. I mean, I think that you kind of have to have him to round this all out.
Exactly. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And it's not that you can't do, like, if they
I think
do,
everyone agrees with that, though.
Yeah, I think probably. We're all secretly John Williams fanboys.
Yes.
Because honestly, I think we've said this before, Star Wars would not be what it is without his original score. Like, the original
I don't think
trilogy.
It would not have been a hit without him.
Yeah, like if it had that kind of popular music at the time, or just some other composer that would have been like, I'm going to make this really sci-fi and use like weird sounds, you know, like that Star Trek. What are that weird thing they use in Star Trek? I can't remember.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been right. Like, it's part of the lightning in a bottle that made Star Wars work. A big part, I think. So I don't think you could have episode 9 without John Williams.
No.
That's the truth. So what do you guys think? Are you excited about all these potential new characters, the return of Lando?
What are your predictions?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think is going to happen with these new characters? What do you think is going to happen with these newly brought back characters?
Yeah.
And you can let us know on Twitter at hyperspace_pod.
Send us an email at hyperspacepodblast@gmail.com.
And as always, you can find our content on hyperspacepodblast.com.
And in case you weren't aware, a new Star Wars book came out about a certain blue individual and a certain evil Sith Lord. And if you would like to listen to it, you can do it for free.
What?
Yeah, I know. Just go to www.audibletrial.com/hyperspace and you can get a free audiobook, any book. It doesn't have to be Throne Alliances. Could be any book.
But if you're into Star Wars and you're wanting to listen,
You can do it for free. And you also get a 30-day trial of Audible. And it's win-win. Beautiful. Everyone's happy.
Yes.
Anyway, that's all we have for you tonight. You guys have been a great audience. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye.
Bye.